I've been reading so much about God's relationship with his daughters and how, as a daughter of the king, he wants to remind you that you are cherished and loved and you have a race to run. And just because you are married and just because you have these duties, with kids and with life, that does not mean that that's a green light for you to lose yourself in. First and foremost, we are to submit ourselves to him. And if you're in a marriage and your marriage is struggling, you have to remember that honor just doesn't grow where seeds of dysfunction were sown. And so if is a lot of dysfunction and there's a lot of disrespect and there's a lot of rebellion and there's a lot of all of these issues, which most marriages go through at some point in time. I mean, no marriage is perfect. If there is that, then it's time for, especially the wife, okay, because I can't speak for the husband, but the wife plays such a major role in the atmosphere of the home that if she's not nurtured or cared for, it's very hard for there to be like a harmonious life in a harmonious home. She exemplifies everything that her husband is doing or is not doing. So if your spouse, if your husband is taking care of business and he's taking care of himself, he's taking care of his body, and he's taking care of finances, he's submitted to God. The scripture that says a wife needs to submit to her husband, that's always taken out of context, because the husband first has to be submitted to God. If he's submitted to his ego or he's submitted to his own desires and his own wants, then he's not submitted to God. So she's not supposed to submit to dysfunction. It's not like if a car's going off a cliff, oh, well, my husband's driving the car and it's going off a cliff and I'm supposed to submit to him. I'm going to smile and say yes. No, that's not the case. A Proverbs 31 woman isn't the soft woman who just goes along with everything. I think that's a big misconception as well. She is clothed in strength and in dignity. Those are the first two things. So strength, meaning that she is bold, she is strong, she's not playing no games, she's not letting things get all out of control. She corrects things when they need to be corrected. She doesn't stay silent because she doesn't want to ruffle feathers. She runs a tight ship. The home is her ship. This is her domain. This is her space, right? Now, if you are putting the home before everything else, I know some women, they're so obsessed with decorating. They're so obsessed with cheap trends and dupes and this and that. They're obsessed with it, making every corner of the home perfect. Now, yes, the woman wants to create a beautiful home. I do too. I wake up, I have routines, I clean things, I organize, I get things in order, I purge, I pull back, I do that because that is the woman's space. She's cultivating and she's expressing herself in that space. It's not only a form of expression, it brings life, the atmosphere. The woman understands this is a reflection of how she wants to feel. So if the husband is leaving clutter everywhere and he's not picking up and he's doing it, it bothers her because she's like, hey, this is my sanctuary, this is my space, and you're messing it all up. You're putting your crap everywhere and your junk everywhere, and you're not caring about the things that I care about. And that can be a big, big issue. But going back to, if you're obsessed with chasing and trend chasing and getting all of these things, and you need to have this, and you're in a cycle of fulfilling your own gluttonous desires because you think, well, he's not giving it to me, so I'm gonna give it to myself, or he's not treating me good, so I'm gonna go treat myself good, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get my nails done and my hair done and my eyelashes done, and I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna go get the coffee, and I'm not gonna care about the budget, and he told me not to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways, and I'm gonna go and do. Well, then you're the rebellious one. So that is not a Proverbs 31 woman. That is not a woman who's clothed in strength and dignity. So the whole atmosphere of the house paints a dynamic and a picture of the spiritual maturity of each person. So it's both of you combined. You both might have reasons and excuses, but reasons based on how things were in the past, what you did or didn't have, what your parents did or did not give you. Those are all valid reasons for why you do what you do and why he does what he does or whatever. But that doesn't mean that that is the direction that God wants to take you in. Like, just because your spouse or your family did things a certain way doesn't mean that God's like, yeah, carry that 50-year-old tradition into the future. No, he's trying to create something new, for new wine to flow out of, new fruit to grow from. And in order for that to happen, you have to chop off those old ways, those old roots, those things that have been holding you back, the things that you're holding on so tightly that you're like, I don't want to. Here's a good one. A woman who feels guilty for taking care of herself. I'm not saying she's putting herself first, but I am saying that's a priority. And not just looks wise, but she's physically taking care of herself. She knows the importance of staying in shape. She knows the importance of getting a good night's rest. She knows the importance of healthy meals. She knows the importance of that. Now, the other people in the house might fight against it, but she knows this is important and I'm going to do it anyways, despite if the other person is doing it or not doing it. She's doing it. So, for example, if the husband doesn't care about maybe fitness, she's not like, well, he doesn't care about it, so I don't care about it because he's leading us and he's the leader of the home, and so I don't have to do this because he's not doing it with me. No, you do it regardless, because you're first and foremost, you are you before you are both of you, right? You are you submitted to the Lord. You are you following what he says for you. He says your body's a temple. He says these things. That doesn't mean that you live in contradiction of those things just because the other person doesn't want to do it, or just because they're not ready. Another big thing is I get women reaching out to me and they desperately want to have freedom. They want to get rid of stuff. They want to either downsize, they want to do this, and the husband is so stuck on the yard of the house, or he's so stuck on keeping something just in case. He doesn't want to get rid of his old jerseys or his old things or things that his mom gave him, and she's so frustrated because she's like, he wants to keep every little thing first just in case, And that is very frustrating, because my husband and I were the same way. Finally, he started getting on board because he experienced the liberation and he realized the things that he needed just in case, he never used anyways. But in between that, there was a lot of fights of me getting rid of stuff and him thinking I was disrespecting him because I was getting rid of the things that he hadn't touched in 10 years. Didn't even know they had until I had gotten rid of it. And in hindsight, could I have been more respectful in it? Yeah, but at some point when you desire freedom so much, you're just like, I know what's best for you. Let me just do this. Some guys, that's not their area of expertise. So a balanced household is honoring and respecting the area of expertise that you each have. My husband's the cook. He's a great cook. I am not a great cook. That's his area of expertise. And when I tried to take that role, we wasted a lot of money on food, and we wasted a lot of money. Something flew by me. And nobody wanted to eat my food because it wasn't that good. I wasn't even passionate about it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't love it. Nobody loved it. Now, is there certain things I can make that I love making? Sure. But that's really his area of expertise. So he enjoys that. We enjoy it. He's just really good at it, and he loves food, so it makes it even better. So what I did is I thought, okay, since I can't cook the food, I can at least source good ingredients, because he was not strong in that area. If it looked good, it must be good. He didn't look at the backs of things. He would buy unorganic food, and for a long time I had to say, we have to switch these things. Less ingredients. We don't need to be buying white bread and deli meat, in 5-6 years ago, that's what we used to buy. And so I had to come up higher in that area so I could help lead him in that area. There's always struggle too, because the person, they feel like you're taking something away from them, but the Bible says that iron sharpens iron. That's not a good feeling. That's not two feathers rubbing together. That's not that's iron. That's like, oh, this sucks. This is hard. You're sharpening a knife. You're sharpening each other. And when you do that, the process isn't fun, but you have to stick with it. If you're coming from a place of wanting the best for your family, you're leading your kids, you're leading yourself. And in today's age, people take, turns leading. Yes, the husband is supposed to be the head of the household, but sometimes he can't lead well. Sometimes he's leading you off a cliff, and you got to say, whoa, I'm not going to tolerate this, behavior. Usually husbands are more risky in business than wives are. Wives see more. They see a larger scale of what's to come. Like, there's risk factors involved. Men are just like, oh, ABC, this equals, so this sounds good. And women are like, no, because if one of those variables isn't working, that whole transaction isn't working. And so this is why she's your helpmate. She is the helpmate of him. This is why you guys balance each other out. And so when you learn to work in harmony with each other and you learn to play off of each other's strengths, not disrespecting the strengths, and be appreciative of it. I'm always telling my husband when he cooks, like, thank you. It's delicious. I appreciate it. I mean, a plate of food. And he knows my favorite is like steak, brown rice, and cucumber, or sweet potato, chicken, and, a fresh orange or something. That's what I like to eat. I don't want the big fat burritos with the juice and cheese oozing. And unfortunately, that is his past. They love that. Mexicans like that type of food. They love food and parties and get-togethers. So when I was pulling away from that, it was like I was taking something from him. And obviously that's not the case, because you want your spouse to be fit and healthy and live a long, healthy life. And they can't do that when they don't feel good and they're full of inflammation and their body's not functioning and they look tired and they feel tired. You can't do that. I see so many women online that are like, look at this great piece I got. And then when they set the piece out, their hand is giant and their arm is inflamed. You could tell by somebody's hands and fingers like how the rest of their body looks. And I'm like, and it's not a judgmental thing. This is an observation of what seems to be a trend. And I've said this before, an obese house, usually the person is obese. And you don't have to be giant to be obese. Obese, if you've got 30% body fat, you're obese. And it's not healthy. You want people, especially women, to feel, well, me, especially women, like that's where my heart goes, is you want them to feel fresh and young and full of life and longevity. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to. You can't be staying up late, drinking soda. Skip the alcohol. I haven't had alcohol in over a year. It's been like 18 months. Not that I was an alcoholic. I only drank a couple times a year anyways, but I just thought this is something that is not good for me in any little bit. Now, if you want to have a glass of wine here and there, I'm not condemning that. But what I'm saying is it does affect your body in a negative way. Getting sleep is so important, and regulating your body to your circadian rhythm is so important. Understanding your cycle and where you're at. You might be menopausal, perimenopausal. I know it sounds overcomplicated, but a lot of these issues in your life can be fixed if you just take care of your body, take care of your mind, get in shape, eat healthy food, like simple things. Healthy food, sunlight, rest, and working out. Those are like 4 main things. And have some good sex, Those are some great things to keep you young and full of life. Both of you are accountable for what you do and don't do. So you're not accountable for what your husband does or doesn't do that drives you nuts, and he's not accountable for you. So if he's the one getting in shape and doing all this, and you're the one sitting around doom scrolling, binge watching, binge coffee drinking, just doing your thing, caring about, well, where should I go today? What should I do? No purpose. You got to get something. You have to get that zeal and that life in you. The whole dynamics of a family changes when the wife changes. When she starts leveling up, and it's so much harder for a woman too, because she's pulled in so many directions. The husband is like, think of it like in the male animal. The male animal is like eat, mate, sleep, wake up. It's like because they're on a 24-hour clock. The woman is on a 30-day or 28-day clock. So one's a sun cycle and one's a moon cycle. That means that how he feels in the morning, he's going to feel tomorrow morning. For a woman, how I feel today, I'm going to feel in like 20 days, so we're all over the place. That means that we sense things. It's like we have these factors that go all over. So it's much harder for a woman to level up, so much harder. But if you can change the whole dynamics of your house, your kids, your husband, yourself, your relationship, everything. If you can stick with it, even when it's tough, if you can do it, I'm telling you, you're going to feel so good. You'll feel 20 years younger. And then he's going to love that anyways too, because he's going to be like, wow, you're full of life and you're actually doing something. And it does take time. There is no quick fixes. If you're going to take Ozempic because you're obese, do it for a short period of time and make sure you keep your protein up and you build some muscle. Otherwise, get ready for a long journey ahead, because it is a journey. 6 months to a year to start seeing some major changes. Unless you're going full on, full force every single day, you're just you can change in 90 days. Like you can recalibrate your whole being in 90 to 120 days, but you got to be all in. And if you're half in, just give yourself 6 months to a year and start the process. Get going. This is your race to run. God's got plans for you. He loves his daughters. Like he says, he's close to the brokenhearted. He loves his daughters. He is proud of you and he wants the best for you. He wants you to want the best for yourself. because so much flows out of that. So let's get it together, ladies.